Welcome back to our warm little nook of wisdom and stories. Imagine yourself curled up with a steaming cup of coffee, maybe sneaking an extra oatmeal cookie because, well, life's too short, right? We often think aging is a gentle slide into a peaceful routine, where we hand over the reins and savor the calm. But what if I told you growing older could be a vibrant chapter, bursting with freedom and purpose, instead of a one-way ticket to a rocking chair? I'm here to share a story that flips the script on what it means to age gracefully. Picture your favorite rituals, maybe that cozy recliner where you read the morning paper, or the backyard swing where you sip lemonade and watch the sunset, or a kale smoothie if you're feeling extra lively. Those moments, those slices of independence, are the heartbeat of a life well lived. Today, we'll dive into a heartfelt tale from someone who thought a nursing home was the answer, only to find it came at a steeper cost than expected. So grab that coffee, get comfy, and let's explore why holding on to your freedom might be the key to a joyful golden age. Hit subscribe to Senior Healthy Aging and join our vibrant community of seniors embracing healthy living every day. By subscribing, you'll get access to expert advice, natural remedies, and simple lifestyle changes to help you age gracefully and with ease. Let me pull you into a story that's been weighing on my heart like a heavy quilt. I'm 82 years young, my hair's gone as white as a winter morning, and my knees creak like an old porch swing, but my mind is still sharp as a tack. I used to picture growing older as a soft landing, like easing into a rocking chair with a good book, letting the world take care of me while I soaked up the quiet. Oh, how wrong I was. My deepest regret, the kind that sits in your chest like a stone, is stepping into a nursing home, leaving behind the home I'd poured my heart into for decades. Can you imagine trading your cozy living room, where you've laughed over spilled popcorn, cried during old movies, or maybe danced a goofy jig with your grandkids, for a place folks call the resting spot? Sounds serene, doesn't it? But let me tell you, it's not all warm blankets, friendly card games, and carefree days. At first, I wasn't sold on the idea of a nursing home. I was still spry enough to whip up my famous pot roast, tend to my rose bushes, or shuffle down to the corner store for a chocolate bar when the craving hit. Sure, I moved a bit slower than in my 50s, but I was managing just fine. My kids, bless their hearts, worried. "Mom, you'd be safer there," they said, their voices laced with concern. "They've got nurses round the clock, doctors on call, folks to chat with. What happens if you're home alone and something goes wrong?" My daughter, Sarah, would grab my hand, her eyes pleading but firm, like she was trying to nudge me toward the right choice. I wavered, and oh, how I wavered. My little house wasn't fancy, peeling paint, a squeaky back door, but it was mine. The oak dining table my late husband carved with his own hands, the kitchen counter where I rolled out dough for countless holiday pies, the armchair by the window where I'd sip chamomile tea and watch the robins hop across the lawn. Those weren't just things. They were pieces of my life. How do you pack that up and walk away? But I trusted my kids. I thought, maybe they're onto something. Maybe a nursing home would wrap me in comfort, give me care, and let me make new friends in my twilight years. Boy, was I in for a reality check. The moment that the nursing home door clicked shut behind me, it felt like I'd left my whole world on the other side. Have you ever stepped into a place and felt like a stranger in your skin? That's what hit me like a cold wind. This wasn't home. It was a system, a schedule, a set of rules I had no hand in writing. I want to share 6 regrets that haunt me like shadows. Lessons I wish someone had whispered in my ear before I signed on that dotted line. If you're mulling over a nursing home for yourself or someone you love, pull up a chair, maybe grab a slice of pie, because this story might just change how you see things. My first regret is losing my freedom. Picture this. You wake up, stretch your arms, and think, I'll step outside, feel the morning dew under my feet. But there's no backyard, no porch where you'd sit with your coffee, watching the squirrels chase each other. Just four beige walls and the faint smell of antiseptic lingering in the air. I'd reach for my old routines, only to find they'd vanished. The nursing home runs like a well-oiled machine, but I'm not the one turning the gears. At 7 in the morning, a nurse swings my door open to wake me, even if I'm still dreaming of my garden's blooming roses. By 7:30, breakfast lands on my tray, whether my stomach's ready or not. At 9, there's a group activity, maybe some light stretching, or a sing-along to songs I don't even like. I used to love stirring up my grandma's cornbread recipe, brewing a pot of tea at dusk, or wandering to the local market for a sweet treat when the mood struck. Now, if I want to step outside for a breath of fresh air, I need permission. Permission? Can you believe it? The first time I tried to take a walk, a staff member stopped me. "Ma'am, let me get someone to escort you," she said, like I was a child needing a chaperone. I stood there, stunned. A chaperone? For a stroll around the block? It's just a patch of sidewalk, for crying out loud. That loss of freedom doesn't slam into you like a storm. It creeps in, slow and sneaky, like frost spreading across a window. You realize you can't pick your dinner, can't decide when to turn in for the night, and can't even wear your favorite sweater if it doesn't fit the facility's practical dress code. I got used to it, in a way. I ate the bland chicken they served, sat through bingo games I didn't choose, waited for bedtime even if my eyes were wide open. But getting used to it isn't the same as being okay with it. At night, I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, missing the days when I could fling open my front door on a whim, decide to bake cookies just because, or choose to spend my afternoon reading in my sunny nook. Those were the days when I was the captain of my ship. Now, I'm just a passenger, listed on a roster, following someone else's map. If you're thinking about a nursing home, for yourself or someone dear, pause and ask, can you live without that freedom? Can you handle a life where someone else decides when you eat, sleep, or step outside? Because once that freedom's gone, it's like trying to catch a butterfly with your bare hands. Beautiful, but nearly impossible to hold on to. My second regret is the sting of being forgotten. When I first moved in, I held on to hope like a lifeline. My family would visit, I told myself. Love doesn't fade just because you're in a new place, right? That first week, Sarah came by with a tin of my favorite shortbread cookies and a gallon of milk. We talked for hours, laughing about old times, and I felt so loved. "Mom, are you settling in okay? Everything good?" she asked, her eyes searching mine for reassurance. I smiled, nodded, not wanting to burden her. My grandkids came too, all energy and hugs, snapping selfies with me and giggling over my old lady stories. My heart was full. I thought, I'm not alone. They'll keep coming. But life has a way of pulling people away, doesn't it? By the second week, Sarah was swamped with work, so she just called, her voice rushed, promising to visit soon. The third week, my grandkids were buried in school projects, no time for Grandma. By the fourth week, the visits stopped cold. I started counting the days, waiting for a knock on my door, for someone to burst in and say, "Mom, I'm here," or "Grandma, we missed you." But the door stayed shut, the phone silent as a stone. I wasn't alone in that loneliness. I saw others in the home, perched by windows, eyes glued to the parking lot, hoping for a car to pull in with a familiar face. I overheard their murmurs. My daughter said she'd come Sunday, but she canceled. It's my anniversary, but I guess they forgot. It's not that our families stop caring. I know my kids love me. But life moves fast. Jobs, kids, soccer practice. And when you're not in their daily orbit, you start to fade. My first Christmas in the nursing home was the hardest. Back home, we'd always deck the halls together, stringing lights, baking gingerbread, and singing off-key carols. This year, I sat alone in my tiny room, listening to faint holiday tunes from the common area, eating a lukewarm slice of turkey from a tray. No twinkling lights, no family laughter, just me and the echo of what used to be. Have you ever felt like you're watching your own life from the outside? That's what it's like. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, can you bear the quiet pain of waiting for visits that might not come? Can you trust that your family will keep you close, even when you're out of sight? Because the world keeps spinning, and it's easy to slip out of its orbit. My third regret is losing the meaning in my days. I used to think getting old meant you could just rest. No responsibilities, no to-do lists. Sounds dreamy, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Having nothing to do can hollow you out like a pumpkin at Halloween. At home, my days had purpose. I'd brew my morning coffee, prune my gardenias, maybe bake a batch of blueberry muffins just for the joy of it. I'd wave to neighbors, sort through old photo albums, or rearrange my collection of teacups because it felt good to keep things tidy. Those small acts made me feel alive, like I still mattered. But in the nursing home, that all stopped. Meals arrive ready-made, whether I like the taste or not. Rooms are cleaned by staff, laundry's handled, everything's taken care of. At first I thought, wow, I'm living the easy life. But after a few weeks, I felt empty. What's the point of waking up if your day's just a blank page? I'd sit in my room, staring at the same four walls, wondering if I still had a purpose. I met a man here, Mr. Thompson, a retired school teacher who used to light up when he talked about teaching kids algebra in his garage. He'd spend hours reading history books, sharing stories with anyone who'd listen. But in the nursing home, he had no students, no books, just a chair by the window. I asked him once, why don't you write or read something? He sighed, his eyes heavy. Who needs me now? No kids to teach, no stories to share. I'm forgetting who I am. That broke my heart clean in two. I saw others like Mr. Thompson, carpenters who used to build tables, seamstresses who stitched quilts, now just sitting, waiting for the clock to tick. It's not that they didn't want to do anything. It's that there's nothing here to do. We don't just need food and a bed to survive. We need a reason to get up, something to look forward to, whether it's tending a garden or calling a friend. In the nursing home, those reasons fade. If a nursing home's on your radar, ask, what makes your life feel full? Can you live without the joy of cooking your favorite dish or rearranging your bookshelf just because you feel like it? Because without purpose, you're not living, you're just passing time. My fourth regret is how fast my health slipped away. Before the nursing home, I was no Olympian, but I held my own. I could walk to the market, lugging back a bag of groceries, or spend an afternoon cooking a big Sunday dinner. Every morning I'd stroll around my block, waving at folks, feeling the breeze on my face, keeping my joints limber. But in the nursing home, that all changed. Everything's done for you. Breakfast? On a tray. Groceries? Not your problem. Need something? Push a button, someone's there. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's a slow poison. Without moving, my body started to betray me. A few months in, my legs felt heavier, my balance shakier. Standing up took effort. I noticed others, too. Mrs. Jenkins, who used to bustle around like me, went from walking to a cane, then a wheelchair, in under a year. One day she looked at me, her smile tinged with sadness. "I feel like I aged 20 years in 6 months," she said. I knew exactly what she meant. At home, even small chores kept me moving, sweeping the porch, watering plants, and cooking dinner. Here, I barely walk. Everything's a few steps away, so I sit more, lie down more, and my strength fades like an old photograph. A doctor here told me, when you stop moving, your body forgets how to move. For older folks, that loss happens fast. He was right. If I'd known, I'd have fought to stay active, even here. Maybe I'd have joined a chair yoga class or insisted on short walks. But the setup here doesn't encourage it. Everything's too easy, and that ease is what weakens you. If a nursing home's on your mind, ask, can you keep moving when someone's doing everything for you? Because if you stop, your body might not forgive you, and getting that strength back is no easy feat. My fifth regret is losing my privacy. At home, I had my space, my sanctuary. My bedroom was where I could shut the door, read a novel, or just be. If I wanted a long bath with my lavender soap, I took one. If I felt like lounging in my comfiest pajamas all day, no one cared. But in the nursing home, privacy is as rare as a blue moon. Staff come in whenever they need to, for health checks, cleaning, you name it. They knock, sure, but sometimes they're in before I can say, hold on. Routine checkups happen whether I'm ready or not. I don't blame them. They're following protocol. But feeling like your space isn't yours. It's like living in a fishbowl. The worst part isn't the lack of privacy. It's the loss of dignity. At home, I dressed myself, bathed myself, and handled my own business. Here, as my strength waned, I needed help. Help to shower, help to dress, help with things I'd done my whole life. Have you ever had to ask a stranger to help you with something so personal it makes your cheeks burn? I had a fever once, and a nurse helped me change. She was kind, professional, but I felt like a shadow of myself, not the woman who used to run her own life. Some folks here don't mind the help, but for me, it's like losing a piece of who I am. If you're considering a nursing home, ask, can you give up your privacy, your dignity, for care? Because when those go, it's hard to feel like you again. My sixth regret is realizing how hard it is to leave. When I moved in, I thought, this is just a trial run. If I don't like it, I'll go home, I told myself. Sarah even said, Mom, try it out. You can always come back. Those words were like a warm blanket, making me feel safe. But a few months in, I saw the truth. Leaving isn't as easy as packing a bag. My house was still there, but it wasn't mine anymore. My kids had started clearing it out, selling old furniture, thinking I'd settled in for good. Neighbors who used to stop by for coffee forgot I existed. When I told Sarah I wanted to go home, her face clouded with doubt. Mom, are you sure? Who'll look after you? Can you manage alone? I didn't know what to say. I wasn't as strong as I used to be. The nursing home had made me dependent. Meals delivered, meds handed out, and help just a button away. Could I go back to cooking, cleaning, and living alone? The thought scared me. The longer I stayed, the more I lost my independence. I saw it in others, too. One woman came to recover from a hip surgery, thinking she'd leave soon. She's still here, too used to the routine to go. A man swore he'd return home once he felt stronger, but his house was sold, leaving him nowhere to go. The nursing home became their only world. If I could turn back time, I'd have stayed home longer, maybe hired a part-time caregiver, or bunked with a friend to share laughs and chores. If you're eyeing a nursing home, ask, can you walk away if it's not right? Because once you're in, the door out feels bolted shut. If I could do it all over, I'd choose differently. I don't regret aging, it's just life doing its thing. But I regret thinking a nursing home was my only path. I came here chasing ease, safety, care, but I lost so much more. My freedom, my purpose, my privacy, my strength. I could have stayed home with a helper a few hours a week, keeping my routines, my garden, my life. I could have moved in with a friend, sharing coffee and gossip, helping each other out. There are options now, home health aides, senior day programs that let you stay in your world without giving it up. Keep moving, keep choosing, keep living. If you're considering a nursing home, don't rush. Explore every path. Can you stay home with support? Can you keep your spark alive? Because once you let it go, it's a long, hard climb to get it back. Aging should be a celebration of a life well lived, not a surrender of what makes us who we are. Society often nudges older adults toward nursing homes, framing them as the safe choice. But it glosses over the human cost, losing your freedom, your purpose, your very sense of self. It's heartbreaking to imagine vibrant souls who once fixed cars or baked pies, reduced to watching time slip by in a sterile room. My heart says we need to rewrite the script on aging, championing solutions like in-home support or community programs that keep people connected and empowered. Losing your home, your routines, your voice, it's not just a change, it's a theft of identity. I'm fired up to push for choices that let us age with dignity, wrapped in the warmth of our own spaces and loved ones. Let's hold tight to our independence and live fully, no matter our age. If this story strikes a chord, give it a like, share it with someone you care about, or hit subscribe for more stories to inspire your journey. Let's keep thriving together.